Imagine a billionaire dies in Italy. His nephew lives in Sydney. The inheritance documents must travel through Australia, Canada, Italy, banks, courts, embassies, and government authorities. But there is one profession standing in the middle of all of it, a profession older than most legal systems, a profession trusted internationally across borders, a profession whose seal can unlock foreign property transfers, overseas litigation, and global business. That profession is the Notary Public. But here's the strange part. Most people have no idea what notaries actually do, why they exist, and why they are so powerful internationally, especially in civil law countries. And in the modern world of AI, deepfakes, and remote identity fraud, well, notaries become even more or less important. Today we are diving deep into the history of notaries, what services they actually perform, why do governments trust them, and how this ancient profession evolves with latest technology. A notary is not just someone who witnesses signatures. A notary is an officer of the law. Some consider notaries as the third arm of the law. The other two are barristers and solicitors. So what does that actually mean? In Australia, a notary public is usually a senior lawyer appointed by authorities such as Archbishop of Canterbury and the Court of Faculties, authorized to prepare and authenticate documents for international use. The history of notaries is older than many countries. The roots of notaries can be traced back over 4,500 years ago to ancient Egypt. Back then, scribes recorded historic events, legal arrangements, and royal communications. Then came ancient Rome. Roman notarius officers recorded court proceedings, legal decrees, contracts, wills, and public announcements. One of the earliest famous figures was Tiro, a slave of Cicero, who developed shorthand note-taking systems. Because literacy was so rare at the time, many historians regarded him as the first true notary, and from there, the profession spread across Europe. During the Middle Ages, notaries traveled with explorers, documented discoveries, and authenticated trades. Medieval notaries were sometimes required to even witness the consummation of royal marriages, and they are known as notaries of bedchamber. Then something fascinating happened. England developed common law separately from most Roman civil law systems. As a result, common law notaries evolved differently, while continental Europe developed the powerful civil law notary system. That split still affects the world today. Here's where things become really interesting. In countries like France, Germany, Spain, Italy, much of South America, and many parts of Europe, civil law notaries are extraordinarily powerful, much more powerful than common law notaries. In civil law systems, they hold public authority, maintain official registers, and sometimes function almost like quasi-judicial officers. Civil law notaries are often viewed as preventive judges. Their role is to prevent disputes before they occur. Because documents issued by civil law notaries often carry substantial evidentiary authority, litigation can be significantly reduced. In some countries, property transactions cannot occur without a notary. Wills require notarial participation, and companies rely heavily upon notarial authentication. By contrast, Australian notaries are common law notaries. Their role is narrower, and focus is authenticity. No legal advice, no advocacy, no dispute resolution. Different legal cultures, different expectations. So what does a modern notary actually spend their day doing? The answer is far more than stamping papers. And one thing many people do not realize is this. Notaries generally do not perform purely domestic functions in Australia, where you have justice of peace for that duty. Think of notary as an international trust bridge. When two parties on opposite sides of the world do not know each other, the notary helps establish confidence in the authenticity of documents and identities. This is why embassies trust them, foreign courts trust them, international banks trust them, and overseas governments recognize their seal. Their role includes verifying identity, authenticating signatures, certifying copies, preparing notarial certificates, and helping documents across international borders legally. These services are widely needed due to globalization and cross-border movements. For example, overseas property transactions involving buying property in Italy and signing mortgage documents in France The Italian bank would require a French notary to provide the certificate that those documents are truly signed by the borrower. Another example is estates and inheritance matters. A Chinese lawyer assisting an Australian citizen to inherit properties in China may require evidence proving identity, family relationship, and entitlement and a will. Overseas universities and employers often require notarized copy of degrees, transcripts, and professional qualifications. Another example is corporate transactions. International companies frequently require board resolutions, power of attorney to open accounts for their overseas branches. All these work require notaries' assistance. Because international systems rely upon trust, notary holds a much higher standard when it comes to identification and certification. Where remote witnessing and digital signature become popular, you cannot expect a notary to certify your documents through video conference. One quote from a 1955 case, Charlton and 𝗷cie𝗶his is memorable. A notary cannot perform a remote notarization, just like a dentist cannot extract a tooth from the telephone. That perfectly captures the nature of notary service, which requires physical appearance, human judgment, and identity assessment. This is not just paperwork. This is global legal risk management. Here's the real reason notaries still exist. Countries do not automatically trust foreign documents. If someone walks into Italy with an Australian power of attorney or inheritance document, how does Italy know it's genuine? This is where notarization, authentication, and 𝗷cie𝗶hisbecome critical. Australia joined the 𝗷cie𝗶hisConvention in 1995. Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, also known as DFAT, now issues 𝗷cie𝗶hiss confirming the authenticity of the notary seal and signature. This allows documents to move internationally without needing embassy-by-embassy certification. Without this system, global trade would become significantly slower and more chaotic. Now comes the big question. Will notaries disappear? At first glance, technology seems threatening. We now have blockchain verification, biometric identification. Some people think, surely, AI can replace notaries someday in the future. But here's the irony. The rise of AI fraud, deepfakes, identity theft, and cybercrime may actually make trusted human authentication more important. Historically, the biggest concern was forged signatures. Today, the concern is forged humans. AI-generated passports, AI-generated videos, synthetic voices, remote impersonation. This explains why many experienced notaries remain cautious about remote notarization. The profession is increasingly shifting from document authentication towards identity assurance. In many respects, notaries are becoming frontline defenders against digital fraud, because the more sophisticated fake documents become, the more valuable trusted verification becomes. A notary is not merely a witness or a stamp provider. A notary is a human legal risk filter, someone exercising judgment, experience, skepticism, and professional responsibility. This is much harder to automate than people realize, but the profession will evolve, and the best practice of notary will have to adapt to the new era. The role may become less paper-based, but more specialized. So next time you see a notarial seal, remember you are looking at one of the oldest legal professions in human civilization, and still trusted across international borders today, from ancient Egypt to ancient Rome, to medieval explorers, to modern age. The notary profession has survived thousands of years of technological change. And perhaps the greatest irony is this: the more digital the world becomes, the more valuable trusted human authentication may become as well. But what do you think? Will AI eventually replace notaries? Will blockchain make notarization obsolete? Or in a world full of fake identities, will trusted human verification become more important than ever before?